the data collection and access. Okay, so now we must be finally getting to stage we upload some data. So now we have, you have to describe at least one data set, but a data description can contain more than one data set. Alright, so click add plus if you to add more. We only have one file to upload. Version 1 not published. Upload my data file. Okay, we found the file. It was just a CSV file. And now we need a data set title. Enter a descriptive unique name for the data set. So this is, and it's put in the title we used before here when we were describing. So
it copies the data description title, but you can change it if you want to have something a bit more descriptive.
Okay, so the other one was the data descriptive, which is like the whole study and everything, whereas this is just this particular file, basically.
This, exactly. The dataset title is especially useful if you have multiple datasets, but since you have just one dataset, perhaps the difference isn't so big, or none at all.
Okay. So should I still include the name of the paper or not?
You can include the name of the paper now, but there's also a field for specifically for publication, so it doesn't need to be included in the title if you don't want to.
I'll just put it in. Meteorological and thermal comfort indices from Göteborgsvarvet. Okay. I will take that one for now. Someone can fix my spelling later. That's the good thing about this going to what do you call it? Not a reviewer? What do you say for data? A paper goes to a reviewer, but data goes to someone who will...
Yeah, well, we say reviewer as well.
Say reviewer,
in Swedish we say granskning.
Okay. So someone will actually get to look at this before it goes out. And then the data set has the same list of people.
Exactly.
Okay, so it could be that I'm publishing a study, it's got two different files, but each file was made by different people. Then I would split some of these up, but in this case, don't worry. And here we've got the dataset description. Now, so I made a file, a data description. Should I copy and paste this, or should I upload it as like the whole file?
You could do both actually. You could paste either the whole text, or if it's a bit long, perhaps just a selection from the text, and then upload the whole file as documentation on the side. That could be downloaded separately for deeper review.
All right, mate, take a little pause and craft something here.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so I just made a very short summary of what's in the data set, and I guess this is the most important thing to have, is tell people what's there.
Yeah, it's very useful to have some extra information about what's in the data set.
All right, I'll just copy that into the Swedish one for the moment.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Identifiers has no... Okay, no, I've been here before. It's not been published. Data format, data structure. It's not so many choices here. It's numeric. Yeah, that's easy. Keywords. So it's the same keywords as before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can go with that. Data collection, specify occasion when the data has been collected. All right, but this is already...
This is similar. This is very similar to the previous one, and in this case, it overlaps because you collected the data during the event. If you had been collecting data about ancient geological events, for instance, then the data collection period would have been different.
I see.
The era investigated.
All right, so I'll just leave that one for the moment, or should I add something in there, or?
You could add the data collection. There's some extra information here about the mode of collection, for instance, which could be.
All right. Okay. What did we say for the dates here? It was 2010. Is that the first one? Yes, it was. 2010, 2017. Skjuter de... Jag vet inte. Men vi tar det. Ongoing
Yeah,
temporal.
we can add it later if we need to change anything.
Ah, okay. 1 hour. That's actually useful because that's the sort of thing people want to know. Spatial resolution. All right, this is point data, so it doesn't really have a spatial resolution, I guess. So I can just
Yeah,
maybe
this
leave that
isn't
one.
really applicable perhaps to. You might have a second empty data description further up, which you could perhaps.
Oh, do I? What have I done? Oh, whoops. Yes. I guess you'd work that one out.
Yeah, that's no problem.
When it came to the number of variables. Yeah, well, that's easy enough to work out. We can just count them up. Do I count year and month? Doesn't sound like they should.
I don't think I would.
No, okay, 1, 2. 13 and time period investigated. So this was the same as we had before. Do I need to specify that if I've already given it earlier on?
No, I wouldn't really bother. There's just one data set anyway.
A license. Covered by a
Alright.
license. Is it covered by a license?
Is it if it's done in Sweden there isn't a license specifically.
There isn't. Should I specify something or?
You could do it to help users from outside Sweden.
Okay. All right.
Just to give an indication on how the data ought to be used abroad, at least.
So I've met these Creative Commons licenses before. There's no link here really to any of them, but this CC BY is you can use it but cite it. Is that right? You need to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Take that one then.
That's alright.
And then copyright. No, it's not copyright. The idea is that people use it. Okay. All right.